Hello, Grotty fans. Hopefully this is working. You can see from the title it's a bit of a test stream. I'm trying to find out if everything works, and if it does, then we're going to try and make this a little bit more of a regular feature. All I'm going to be doing tonight is just do a little bit of painting. Hopefully John's going to join us later to talk about the points changes. I know he's super excited about that. But he's normally a little bit busy till a little bit later. So if you can all hear me all right, can you let me know in the chat, please? Let me know if the music's too loud or if everything's gone out of focus or something like that. But really today I'm going to be working on my Thunderhawk. Bit of feedback on the audio. Is that on the music or the voice? Music's a little bit loud. Voice, okay. Like that. Hopefully that's a little bit better. Is that my voice is too loud, Catapult, or is that the music still too loud? You see me do something disgusting now because I am an unapologetic brush licker. Was too loud, now it's gone too far the other way. Typical. Right, put that back up again. We'll get there in the end. This is why we're doing a test stream. I'm not as pro over here as BAC channel. Bit of fuzzy noise after I speak. I know what that is. See if that sorts that out. Let me know if there's still that fuzzy noise going on. Yeah, fan. Got it in one. It's about 900 degrees in here. I am cooking. And after the terrible audio on the last one, I've turned the noise gate down quite a bit. Did I enjoy the premiere final on Saturday? Yes. But I only watched the highlights because I was a bit tied up. Cool as fuck, Dagda. What's cool as fuck? We still talking about the rugby? Because I mean, it was a pretty close game, and if I'm honest, I thought the Saracens were going to win. I was quite pleased to see that Tigers won. So all I'm doing at the moment is I'm just whiting in areas that are going to be yellow and hazard stripy. So I'm just putting loads and loads and loads of really thin coats of white paint, because anything that is left, any like blotchiness or anything, is going to show through the yellow. the mythical Thunderhawk finally something other than grey. Well, at least it's red. I'm hoping that I can finish these white bits today, and I'm going to start doing some yellow, ready to hazard stripe it to hell. New point changes look good to me. Even might play Astrath for the first time in years. Yeah, I completely agree, Lionel. I've been quite hard on Astrath because I've always felt he has the wrong Warlord trait, but Soul Warden's still good, and we don't really need it. I think if you want a beat stick character, especially with the changes to Blade of Sanguinius, I think he's quite a decent pick now for 140 points. Back to the content, dude. I'm an exile man myself. Oh, London Irish. We can let you off, Dagda. So let me know if you can see everything all right. I've got the zoom so I can zoom in or out a little bit if we need to. The only problem is this model is so massive the camera keeps focusing on just this top bit, which is a little bit annoying. When I'm doing normal size stuff I think it'll be alright. Or I can turn off the autofocus and manually, but then I'm going to manual at the bottom and not at the top. Tactical Melon needs more red. There's none more red. It's going to be red, black, yellow and hazard striping. All the most important things to have on a Thunderhawk. Such a cool model is Astaroth, showing its failcast. Yeah, do you know what? I prefer the metal one. I don't have a metal Astaroth, but I'd like one. I'd much rather paint the metal than the finecast ones. I think the quality is just better. I want a new Dante model, but I can only get the failcast. Many years ago I had a metal one and I just can't find it, and it's really annoying me. Check this out, I'm quite pleased with this. I've got magnets inside the wings so I can put them up and I can put them down and they stay up and down. I'm quite pleased with that. Childish, but and it took an unreasonable amount of time. I think it's wicked. I think it look great. Sanguinary Guard point nerf being reversed is great news. 30 points again. Not going to bother buying Dante, just converting my own. Yeah, a lot of people do. They like to make them out of Stormcast. I've seen that amazing. I think with Siege Studios did a Dante, and that was absolutely incredible. And I might be tempted. I just every time I think about doing it, I think, oh, they must be coming out with a new proper Dante soon, and I end up putting it off. I'm glad that the Sanguinary Guard got reversed down to 30 points. I mean, they were great even at 32 points, so putting them down at 30 means they're even better. My only worry is that being so good, I wonder if we're going to see anything other than Sanguinary Guard and Death Company, which might make armies a little bit one-dimensional or a little bit boring. But you never know, we might get those fancy new Vindicators that the Chaos players are getting. That'd be nice. And I know they're rubbish, but I really want to run a Land Raider Crusader. Andy, yep, new points look nice for BA. Yeah, definitely. BA have really lucked out on this points update. I think they were pretty near, if not the best Space Marine faction. I think they might definitely be now. I'm still a fan of Dark Angels over them, but only by a little bit. And I think there's a good chance I'm wrong on that, and that BA are better. Other than from a lore and fluff and everything else point of view. You know, they're fabulous, whereas Dark Angels are just moody traitors. Dagda, same here. Love the Crusader. I remember when the Crusader was a Black Templar only unit, and in some ways I wish we kept a little bit of that, because like when we were the only ones who had the Storm Raven as well, that was wicked. Storm Raven took a points drop, I think, which is incredible. Lionel, if named characters don't pay for trait and relic, then Dante could be really good now. I still think Dark Angels are the best chapter competitively, though. You're definitely right. I suspect that they'll get their relic included, but they won't get their trait, and you'll have to pay for that. But I think Dante trait gives them an extra CP anyway, so you might as well just get the other half of it for free. I'm not sure I like this new change to the costing a CP for your Warlord trait. The relics, sure, they're supposed to be really rare, but your Warlord trait's really what makes your Warlord special. And it just feels a little bit not so special without your Warlord trait on him. I'm a little bit sad about that change. The starting with 3 CP, I know it hurts a lot of army builds, but I think it's probably better for game balance. I've put so many layers of this white to get it really smooth. Getting a little bit bored of it now. Because it's super thin. Dagda, Alpha Legion are more loyal than the Dark Angels. Yeah, probably. Didn't Alfarius go traitor and Amegon stay loyalist? Or am I remembering that wrong? Lionel, yeah, it seems most flyers got a points drop. Still not playing though much. I love the Space Croissants. I love Space Croissants, they're so cool. I like Necrons actually, they've got a great aesthetic. I actually really like the CP changes. I just wish they'd adjusted detachments to accommodate. Yeah, me too. I think maybe a more elegant solution would have just been that the detachment that your Warlords are part of you get for free irrespective. And then that would mean that things like Vanguard builds and that still have a place. Whereas now my poor double Vanguard Custodes are almost impossible to run anymore. I can, but then I can have no traits or Warlord traits or anything. Well, I'm salty about the Custodes changes, if I'm honest. Alfarius book is by far the best Primarch book. I haven't read it yet. I've read, was it Legion, which was the one in the main series, but I've not started on the Primarch series yet. I might have to jump across a bit early, but I'm a bit of a, I've got a bit of OCD, so I have to start at the beginning and work through. Andy, beer tonight. I'm on soft drinks tonight because it's a school night. So tomorrow I've got to get out of bed and teach kids stuff. My on Mediocre Hobbies has a great white. Mediocre Hobbies. I don't know. I know them. Is that a paint brand? The white that I'm using at the moment. See if I can get it to focus. So the white that I'm using at the moment is this one. And it's from Chimera. And it's an incredible white. It thins down really nicely. So at the moment I've got it basically as a glaze to try and build up this white on the model. But also when you take it out of the tube, it's really, really thick. Which just means it's got great coverage. Alfarius is the best, highly recommended. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I really like the Alpha Legion. There's a little bit of me that's tempted to do Horus Heresy Alpha Legion. But I also really like Thousand Suns. Excuse me. I've just finished the Thousand Suns mainline book. And it's just incredible. It just made me think that the Wolves are dicks. And Magnus did a lot wrong, but it really gave me a lot of sympathy for the way the Thousand Suns were portrayed in that, and I think the Thousand Suns army could be quite good. But the thing that puts me off the Thousand Suns is that only So like I said, I've just finished a 1,000 Suns book, and at the end of it, there's about 400,000 suns left. Well, and they're all on the planet of the Sorcerers, so they basically don't do anything for the rest of the Horus Heresy. So it'd be a bit weird if you wanted to do anything post burning of Prospero with them. YouTube channel. Oh, right, okay, so Mediocre Hobbies is a YouTube channel. I'll have to check them out. I do watch a lot of painting stuff on YouTube. Lionel, my Necrons love the point changes. Unfortunately, they still can't kill armour or contempt models worth a damn. Good fun to paint them though. Yeah, they're quick to paint, they're easy to paint, and they're as good. The thing I like about them is I run a little Warhammer club at the school, and I've got a few students there painting Necrons because like really simple techniques can have a really great looking army really quickly, and some of those kids have got no attention span. But if you get good, you can make an amazing looking army as well. So they really scale with you, whereas some armies, things like Quins and that, you've got to be good from the start if you want them to look anything other than a bit rubbish. Hi Maverick, great to see you here, mate. I know, if I ever play Horus Heresy, I'm doing 2nd edition style Blood Angels. Yeah, that's what I'm definitely doing. I'm thinking in addition to the Blood Angels. Mike Sicko, hi mate. Yeah, 400,000 suns. Yeah, I wish. It was literally 400 by the end of that book. The Dag, I haven't read a book which is so short with so many spoilers. Really, a great book though. Everybody keeps telling me it's the best of the Primarch series. Genghis is jealous. Genghis is always jealous. Woo, first live stream, love it. Cheers, Stephen. Let me know if there's any problems with it. It's a bit of a test, a bit of an impromptu one. Check everything's working. I will sort out a proper night, and I'll be doing it more or less weekly when I've got everything working. And hopefully none of the equipment overheats. We've got our Grotty episode going out tomorrow night, and there's a couple of bits in there where the camera cuts off, which wasn't ideal, just because it's so hot in here. Highland Phoenix, hashtag Thunderhawk Metastream. You know it. I'm supposed to be moving house in a month, and my goal is to finish the Thunderhawk before I move house. I think I've got enough white on there, which means I can finally paint another colour. You can see from my wet palette the sheer volume of colours that I've been painting here, being black and white. I'm quite excited because now I get to finally paint another colour. Cheers. This one. Oh, that goes a bit strange under the lights. This is warm yellow from Chimera. Oh, it looks a bit strange, doesn't it? It's not actually black. It's just because of the way that the camera's colour sensors are being confused by it. So we'll see how that turns up. This is a great paint, but with all yellows, they're all terrible to get on the model. Stephen B, I'm working on chainsword and bolt pistols for the Vanguard veterans. Going to run them as Assault Marines. Thank goodness I magnetised the Vanguard veterans. Yeah, a lot of people are saying that. There's still a place for Vanguard vets, I think, but the drop on Assault Marines has certainly made them a lot more tempting. And I'm glad about that. I really miss the days when we could run them as troops. Highland, good idea with the turntable, almost essential. Yeah, this thing is an absolute nightmare. And the problem was, as I'm picking it up and moving it round, I was rubbing the paint off it. So, you know, I'm a bit lazy and never paint the bottom of models anyway. The bottom's just red and black. I'll do a bit of dry brushing there, but this means that I can get to it all without having to keep handling it. Lionel, I actively avoid painting white, just hate it. Yeah, it's a funny colour. Someone's been talking to me about doing white scars, and I've been experimenting trying to get a colour scheme working for them. I think you're better off start actually doing it grey and not using white at all. But I haven't tested it yet. Sigmund Bay, Tony, you have to coordinate with back, get a live stream for every day of the week. Yeah, that's sort of the plan. John does every other Thursday, and then he does Saturdays and Sundays. And then he does his Monday live game, and I'm looking at probably Tuesdays, possibly Wednesdays. Neither of us want to do Fridays because we've got wives and they'll murder us. I know Chimera colours still haven't tried. Yeah, I absolutely love Chimera. They've not got the biggest range, but because they're single pigment, they mix together beautifully. So if you're doing more display stuff, they're incredible for it. But also, just their sort of black, their white, this yellow. If you're just looking for a simple colour that they have, they make great base coats. You can mix down with other things to build in some other colours to it. This yellow is really warm and vibrant. Which is what I want for my beautiful Hazard stripes. Will really annoy Mark because he's insisting that Hazard stripes can only go Iron Warriors. He's wrong. Everyone wants Hazard stripes. What's this about Grots Best 80s Movies video? That's our new episode. Kindly requested by one of our Patreons. Will we do the best 80s movies? And we thought, yeah, why not? So it was a lot of fun to make that one. There were some arguments in pre-production and post-production and making it, but that's what makes it more fun. Love the Assault Marines. Yeah, me too, Dagda. Vallejo White, or the new GW White spray coming out with Apothecary White contrast mixed with 3 parts contrast medium. Easiest white of all times. Yeah, I've got the Apothecary White. I really like it. Just neat out of the bottle. If I'm trying to make, like for example, my custodes, I haven't got them here at the moment because of where I'm packing up to move, but if they want white ropes and things like that, I think the Apothecary White is absolutely great for textured surfaces. So I'm quite fond of that. Vallejo White's pretty good. I've got some of that down here. The Vallejo Black's quite good as well. It's a lot better than Abaddon Black, which is basically abandoned black. That stuff's crap. I actually think the Abaddon Black is worse than Corax White. I can make Corax White work with a bit of playing with it, but Abaddon Black is just useless. Even at the school for the kids, GW they do a fantastic affiliate program thing for schools, run clubs, and they send you a few paints and that. And even there, I binned the Abaddon Black pretty quickly and just bought a set of Vallejo paints. Highland Felix, I have every 80s sword and sorcery fantasy film. Best decade for films. Yeah, completely agree with you. Although I'm more into my sci-fi and action, I do love a bit of sword and sorcery. There's certainly a few of them on that list. Lionel, I recommend mid-grey, then building to white. I was originally going to do white scars and blood angels, but painting that much white put me off scars, so opted for dark angels instead. Yeah, I'm going to do something similar, I think. I'll use Tamiya, make a nice sort of mid-grey, so I'll use Tamiya. I'll bring that up to white probably on there. Tactical Melon, Hazard stripes to win, you know it. Highland Phoenix or Vindicator Sea Shields. Love Vindicator Sea Shields. With big fat Hazard stripes on. I've liked Vindicator since before they were cool. John's talking today about getting 3 of them commission painting, and there's a little bit of me that's thinking, oh, I'd do that. That's a lot of Hazard stripe. I'd enjoy doing that much. Then just paint all the joints and anything else after. Clean up with white scar and highlight. Yeah, definitely works. But not white scar because that's a terrible paint. Monument Hobbies I find to be close to Chimera and have a few stores in the UK. Yeah, I need to get some of those to try out. Whenever I order some stuff, I tend to chuck in a couple of paints for other brands I haven't tried. So the other day I picked up, see if it wants to come out on the camera again. I picked out a couple of these Turbo Dork paints to try out. And these are really interesting. This Sparkle Motion paint is really bizarre. focus. It's actually, look, I thought it was a silver when I bought it, but it's not. What it is it's like the mica flakes that they use to make metallics, but with just in a medium. So you paint it on things and it makes them go sparkly, which is really weird, but quite fun to play with. Just going to dip out and see what Back is saying. Has he started, has he? We'll see if he's... Hopefully we're going to be able to join him and chat at the same time. Stephen BA jumping over to the Back channel, yep. Nemes, I almost find Monuments Titanium White to be very good. I need to give it a go. I'm quite looking forward to it. Lionel, Abaddon Black is literally only useful for darkening colours. Don't know what it is, but Citadel Black and Whites just suck. Corvus Black is okay. Yeah, Corvus Black's alright. It's more of a dark grey though, that colour. Makes it a little bit more useful. I was going to say the same thing at Nemes, but I didn't want to seem like a Monument Hobbies shill. A lot of people really like them and rate them really highly, so I will try them. They're starting to get a little bit more availability at the moment, so I might find an easier time getting hold of them. Going to see if we can join John on the other channel as well.
Good evening, Tony.
Evening, John. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you fine and well. How are you?
Very well, thanks, mate. Hopefully, if this is all working, we should be live on both channels at the moment.
Yeah, I did see that you were streaming. I've like hijacked your first ever night streaming.
You have. I can't even do one night streaming without you jumping in there and stealing. The number of viewers that have just gone, oh yeah, well John started streaming now, so I'm going to go over there.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, I'm just let down. It's your fault, mate.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Everybody's jumping in. I couldn't not come on. Do you know what? I thought to myself, I'll film a video, but by the time I film it and edit it tonight, it would be like midnight before I'm releasing it. So I thought I'd just go live.
I was kind of wondering if Mark was going to join us. I know he's on holiday, but whether he would be able to resist the temptation to hop in.
One thing we should say is your favourite character in the entire game, Gabriel Seth, has gone down points.
He has.
Does this mean he's not shit anymore?
No, it means that even GW recognise that he's shit. And they can't even recognise that Dante needs a points drop. So if they leave Dante alone and, you know, drop Gabriel Seth's points value, they must really think he's bad.
Yeah, there was a rumour earlier this week that said Dante might go to 150. And I was really, really thinking, like, oh, at 150, I'll probably run him. At 165, the more I think about it, the more I think I'm still going to run my Chapter Master on a bike.
If he was 150, I'd run Dante, no questions asked. He's pretty good anyway. In fact, he's very good anyway. But I think I'm still going to not bring him. I might run Astrath though.
Yeah, Astrath's the interesting one because I mean his Massive Doom is essentially doing the same thing as the Sangre Ancient. Nothing changed with Sangre Ancient. He's still 110. So I guess the question is, do we rate the 2 inches of movement that the Sangre Ancient gives over Astrath's Litany? And obviously the 2 inches of movement from, sorry, the +1 to hit from the Sangre Ancient is 100% reliable, whereas Astrath's one's not so reliable. I
think they still do different jobs.
Sorry, I just before you got on, I just started looking at. So we talked about Astrath's gone down 10, Seth has gone down. Is it 15?
Yep.
Tycho's gone down 5, but the Death Company version of Tycho, no one's running that. Regular Death Company have gone down 2 points per model, which is kind of crazy. So regular Death Company who were already good. I think a lot of people are already running Death Company. a lot of people are already running them with either like 3, 4, or 5 Thunderhammers as a 5-man. So, I mean, if you just think about it, just one season ago, they were 2 points more. So your Death Company has gone down 20 points.
Death Company are looking really tasty at the moment.
Yeah, Death Company are looking really tasty. So your 3 Thunderhammers is 150 points, obviously with jump packs and chain swords and the other 2 guys. And 4 Thunderhammers, sorry, is 165. And even that 5 Thunderhammer is only 180. And that's a lot of Thunderhammer attacks to get in turn 1.
That is a lot of Thunderhammer attacks. I don't know if you'll get them in turn 1 though, and I think that's one of the things. Like, although they've had a points drop, because you've got less CP, it's going to be a little bit harder to Forlorn Fury them. I mean, if you want to Forlorn Fury them, and they're a big squad, then that's 2 out of your probable sort of 3 CP that you've got, just on that.
Yeah, I think... Well, I don't run 10-man Death Company anyway.
No.
I think 10... If you're going to run 10-man Death Company now, you're going to have to start with like 4 or 5 CP, so you can barely spend anything. What about the Sanguiner? Asks Toby. Nothing has changed with the Sanguiner, unfortunately. John says you take Dante because it saves you a boatload of CP. I mean, he does save you a boatload of CP, John. So that is the main advantage for Dante.
He still hits reasonably hard, and he's still got reasonable buffs, hasn't he?
Death Company intercessors cost the same points as regular intercessors now.
Yeah, but they're not as useful.
Well, they're not as useful because they fill an elite slot.
You haven't got any spare because you can't bring any Vanguard attachments anymore.
So if Death Company intercessors could become core, not
troops.
Core, troops, that would be so good.
Sorry.
I don't think anyone's taking Death Company intercessors anyway.
No, nobody's taking Death Company. Lionel over on the Grots stream is saying that he's all very excited about running Ashtrath as well. Ashtrath seems to have really jumped up in people's estimations. I like him for Blade of Sanguinius now.
See, so I haven't dived into any of the new secondaries and stuff. I've actually been filming videos the last 2 nights. So I was going to wait to reserve my breakdowns from chapter approved when I get the book.
Yeah, absolutely. But through osmosis, I've learned of a few of the changes and whatnot. And the change to Blade of Sanguinius means you can pick who you're going after.
Okay, the opponent can't pick anymore.
Yeah, which is a big change and a good change because it means that you can decide who you're going to do. Astrath's got a fairly small base, it's very killy, and dropping him down to murder something for 140 points is pretty good. It doesn't cost any CP to build him into a murder machine.
Highland Phoenix Jump Chaplain is still better than Astrath. Why Highland Phoenix? I noticed as well that they've dropped the points cost upgrades on both becoming a Death Company captain and becoming a Death Company lieutenant. I don't know how much that... I don't know anyone that was really running Death Company lieutenant anyway, but Death Company captain, we've seen a few people with that in the list. Save you 5 points there. So I guess that means for 15 points you get the feel no pain and the extra attack. I mean, it wasn't so bad at 20 points. We used to see a lot of people run a Death Company captain on a bike with the Teeth of Terror. That would have just got...
I know you used to run that for a little while.
Yeah, I did, and you know what? That was before Armour of Contempt, so I mean, it's even better now.
Probably pretty good. I've never really liked him though. That kind of like beat stick, quite expensive captain model. I've always just found that for the same number of points, I can get a squad of Sanguinary Guard that just do more damage.
Yeah, I mean, the reason to take him is that he gives you another angel sacrifice, right?
He does, yeah.
So he's a little bit cheaper. And then the only other points changes to top... Well, there's 2 actually. Well, let's start with the Ball Predator, because
The important
is this
one.
change enough to make people bring Ball Predators? Is anyone in chat thinking that they're going to field some Ball Predators? They've gone down from... Was it 125? They gone down 15 or they gone down 10?
Yeah, I think they've gone down 10 points. 10 or 15 points or whatever. I think anybody who was running them before is very happy. Anybody who wasn't running before still isn't running
them. Yeah, I don't think I'm taking Ball Predators. I did notice that the Sanguinary Priest's jump pack is still literally the most expensive jump pack in the game at 30 points.
Silly.
Not I don't love that. But I guess Sanguinary Guard dropping down 2 points per model. This is what I've been complaining about for 2 whole seasons now, Tony.
Yeah.
Do I get to say I'm right now?
Oh, well, definitely. I don't think many people would disagree with you.
Yeah, I thought they were overcosted at 32. As much as other people like to moan about them being a good unit, they need backup.
They do. They are a good unit, but I still only run 1 unit. I know everybody else is running about 5 of them. Like all of the Sanguinary Guard, the entire Golden Host every single game.
I'm convinced I'm going to start running 20 plus in my list now. 3 squads of 7 or something like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Their Armor of Contempt has made them infinitely more viable than Vanguard Veterans. Vanguard Veterans are struggling a lot because of their AP, I think. Yeah. And the big question will be, are Death Guard competitive? Because Sanguinary Guard aren't great into Death Guard. Death Guard got a lot of changes today that I think Colin said earlier when I spoke to him that his Death Guard list got like 300 points cheaper.
Ooh.
So will Death Guard be competitive?
I mean, I think that Death Guard can be competitive already. You've just got to get out of the way you're playing Death Guard. There's still a tendency at the moment to run 3 Plague Burst Crawlers and 1 million Blight Lords. That just makes your army too slow.
Yeah, they are slow.
But I reckon if you went the other way and you had a few small squads of Terminators you were dropping down, and you went heavy on the Blight Drones, and you made a, in inverted commas, fast Death Guard list, I think it could be really powerful. But people are a bit hesitant to leave that kind of giant anvil of Terminators in the middle of the board, backed up by your guy who makes your fight last and that. I don't think that's the best way of playing them.
I do think that's something that Death Guard players are too
reliant on.
I was going to say too attached to, where they just want that giant squad of Blight Lords because they feel like they don't do enough damage if it's not a giant squad.
But those Flesh Mowers can do a huge amount of damage. They're fast, they're durable, they're cheap. I think that could be
I've always liked Flesh Mowers, to be honest.
Yeah. Just looking over here. Catapult's been running a Baal Predator and he loves it. Lionel, poor Baal Predators. Abaddon Black. Yeah, we've been talking about Abaddon Black, and I think Abaddon Black is worse than Corax White. I can make Corax White work, but Abaddon Black might as well go in the bin.
Okay, so Sanguinary Guard are down at 30 points per model. The weapons didn't change. In my experience, post Armor of Contempt, or at least, I would say post Armor of Contempt, swords are on top again, I think, into axes.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
So if you've got Sanguinary Guard, I'd probably say try and go, I'd say 2/3 to 3/4 every squad of swords, and runs probably like 7-man squads, 5 swords, 2 axes in each. If you're going to run 3 squads of them, and you can make that work in your list, I guess that's, 30 times 21? About 630 points. That's, they just deliver so much killing, and they're in such a, I mean, I'm making a video based on like my performance at this tournament that I just finished 3rd at the weekend, and I feel like one of the ways that we can win games as Blood Angels is we need to have units that can just trade really well. So a 7-man squad of Sanguinary Guard coming in at 210 points now, is that right? Yeah.
Something like that.
They can trade just about with anything. Maybe not so much -1 damage enemies, but we're not seeing much of those. And I did also notice both Custodes Dreadnoughts, the Contemptor ones, the Galatus and the Achilles, both went up in points as well.
Don't talk to me about Custodes. They've been absolutely shafted again. We weren't seeing them in tournaments at the moment anyway after the last round. And this round's just coffin nailed it.
Yeah, so Vanguard Veterans have been hit really hard, I feel like. If you are playing against someone that benefits from Armor of Contempt, in turn 1 and 2, your Vanguard Veterans are on -1. Yep. They suck. I mean, against other armies, they're fine, but against Armor of Contempt armies, kind of suck. And I guess axes in turn 1 and 2 can also kind of suck if you don't have a way to get into Assault Doctrine. So I think swords are now on top. I also think if you come into anything that has like a massive amount of transhuman, like Tyranids, swords are also going to be on top against them as well, just because you're going to be basically playing around the AP.
Yep.
So
I think swords are on top at the moment. I really do. I don't think I've run axes, many axes.
I'm going to make 6 more Sangre Guard, and I'm going to make them all with bolters and swords. I think I'm going to magnetize all the sword arms, though, because this keeps coming up to bite me in the ass.
Yeah. I still think fists are shit. Hello, Dark Ginger. Welcome to the Grotty stream. John's on here, and he's streaming on his channel as well. But my channel's better because it's got Thunderhawk on it.
I'm not doing any painting tonight. Seraphin says that he thinks Vanguard veterans are just not worth it anymore. Not when Death Company costs less than them. I mean,
he's probably right. I'm honest.
Death
They're still good.
Survivable through Armor of Contempt as well. So
yeah,
Death Company. I think a 5-man Death Company and 3 squads of Sangre Guard. We're going to see that in so many lists now. I feel a little bit sad that I did 20 Vanguard veterans with Lightning Claws and Storm Shields, but I guess
that was a lot.
You know,
you don't do anything by half, do you?
No, I don't do anything by half. They'll stay for another day, I guess.
Lionel over here saying that he likes to look at Death Guard at the moment. Morty's wrecking face still. Morty's really good, but he does suffer from that all your points in one model problem.
He went down a lot.
Did he? Didn't see that.
Yeah, I think he went down like 40 points or something.
You know who did go down an awful lot? Gilliman.
Yeah, I was
dropped 80 points.
Nick from Games Workshop, I tweeted against him when he got excited about that earlier and told him that Blood Angels are still better. But anyway, Sangre Guard went down. Both Death Company goes down. The Ball Predator went down. Do you think they saw my video on Ball Predator? Or
no.
You just saw, I made a few videos on how shit Predators were.
Yeah,
I still don't think this is enough for Predators.
No, they're still rubbish. I'm hoping that they get a bit of a buff. We haven't seen the data sheet from the Chaos book yet. Maybe they'll get a bit of a buff from there.
Yeah. And then Astrath seems to be the model that everybody's wanting to jump on. You know, Astrath used to be 110 points. And then they put him to 150, and now he's back to 140.
I think when we talked about him in our tier list a year or so ago, we said that if he was 140 points, we'd think about him, and if he was 130 points, it'd be a no-brainer. And the fact that we're talking about him now means that that probably still holds true.
Yeah. So I'm really happy that the points are digital, though. Like, what a waste of paper this would have been if I got another book. How many pages was this? 54 pages. That's what I complained about last season, wasn't it? It was like 54 pages and I need 2 of them.
Yeah, it's just such a waste.
Okay, anyone got any questions about Blood Angels points costs? If you want to throw them in the chat, then we'll look at some Space Marine point costs as well.
Looking over on my one, wild that Custodes, elitist of the elite, have worse armour than Terminators. Why don't they have Armour of Contempt? Yeah, I don't know why they haven't got Armour of Contempt. I also don't know why their Land Raider didn't drop in points. Everybody else's Land Raider dropped by like 20 odd points, except Custodes, because they're overpowered.
I can't even think what their profile is. Is it just a standard Land Raider for them?
Yeah, well, alright, I think it's got BS2, but other than that, it's a standard Land Raider with BS2.
Brian says the Death Company captain can satisfy the requirement of the secondary as he's Death Company. That's interesting. Lamartus can do that as well, but I don't think...
Lamartus is still, I think, a bit shit, to be honest.
Yeah, I think Lamartus is not great.
There's just no reason to run it.
Mephiston stayed at 140. I mean, yeah. I've been running him. At 140, I guess, I think more people will pick Astrath over him because they might perceive Astrath to be better in terms of, like, depends what you want to play.
He hits harder, right? Doesn't he?
Yeah, if you're going Smash, then Astrath is better. if you're going for utility and survivability, I guess Mephiston's better, right?
So I think
depends on your play style.
I think Meph brings a little bit more than Astorath does at the moment.
I missed another question there. Sorry. Pac-Man says I'm the best, but I mean I'll just read that comment out because why would you not read that out? Thanks, Pac-Man.
Lionel, yeah, Astorath was slightly different, but not massively different when he was a lot cheaper.
Reziel says Mephiston is still crap. Well, I mean, I almost won the tournament with Mephiston Reziel, so he's not that crap.
Didn't you credit shutting down those Zonothropes of Mephiston as well?
That was, yeah, I was going to mention that. Those Zonothropes were just horrific, man. They get to smite basically like 3 times a turn or something.
Jesus
Each time it's like
Christ.
3+1 damage. If I didn't have Mephiston in that game, I don't know how I would have dealt with that. And meanwhile, Mephiston actually denied his psychic action twice, which was glorious. Yeah, so thoughts on the Death Company. I would run a 5-man Death Company with 3 or 4 Thunderhammers in every game, probably going forward. They were borderline good enough for me before. At 10 points less, they are super good. If you're running anything that can buff them, i.e. a Chapter Master, a Sangari Ancient, a Sangari Priest, Mephiston, Astorath, if you're running any of those units, which I imagine you are running at least 1 or 2 of them, because why would you not be running 1 or 2 of them? A 5-man Death Company with 3 or 4 Thunderhammers, I think you 100% want that.
I'm still too cheap to run 3 or 4 Thunderhammers.
Dude, it will trade with anything. Any models.
I know it will. I'm gonna have to get over this fact that I refuse to buy war gear for my squads. I've got like.
Yes, I mean, let me pull up a calculator a minute. So when I ran Death Company in this tournament just passed, I actually know that in against the Mal Scepter, I actually made 24 hits. So what I had was I had 4 Thunderhammers. I had them. Well, if we work out the averages, right? So it was like 4 guys with Thunderhammers and Assault Doctrine, so that's 20 attacks. I hit point.
Hitting on 4s.
+1. I'm re-rolling everything, so I should make 17 hits. But I cast Unleash Rage on them from Mephiston as well, and so I basically, on average, got 7 extra 6s.
Yep.
So I got 24 hits on his Mal Scepter in turn 1, and I think the Mal Scepter was transhuman because it was in Synapse range, so it's only wounding it on 4s. But it still meant he needed to take 12 saves at -3, and the turn 1 kill on the Mal Scepter was a huge trade. At the time, the tournament just passed, the Mal Scepter was only worth 170 points, but I noticed today the Mal Scepter went up 50 points. It's now 220. So, and our Death Company went down, so you're trading a 165 point unit for a 220 point unit, and it doesn't even get to hit you back, and then consolidate into cover or something like that.
Yeah,
that's the way to do that.
No changes to Dante Dark Ginger. I've got the Tyranid books here, and I need to sit down and read it properly. I bought it to have a good read through, and I just haven't.
Good evening, Mark. Gitley says get 5 Thunderhammers or get in the sea.
I'm too cheap. The thing is, like what you were just saying there against that Malicept or whatever,
touching onto the shore.
you would have killed it even easier if all of your Death Company had power swords.
What rage are you talking about? Highland Phoenix Chaplain with rage? What's he talking about?
Remember, I can't see your chat, John.
Yeah, I can't see your chat either, I suppose.
But no, your Death Company would have killed that Malicept or whatever it was just as easily with power swords.
I suppose because it's minus.
Well, because you're still hitting.
I don't think it was -1 damage. No.
No, so you would have been hitting. You'd save yourself sort of 10 points on each guy. You would have killed it just as easily.
Maybe. I mean, the transhuman was the thing that was the problem. So
it was, but it would have affected if you were.
I still think Trust me, just make a Death Company with 4 Thunder Hammers. Try it, and we'll see. Mr. Herb says, interested to hear your thoughts on Assault Marines now. Yes, let's get into some Space Marine point costs. All right, we've touched on Blood Angels points cost. If anyone wants to bring anything else up, they can do. Let's scroll up to Marines.
Marines got a few buffs, but nothing outrageous. Gilliman was the big boy.
Yeah, there has been some things shared online for all the points cost changes for Marines. So I don't think anything changed on HQ, right? Nothing changed in troops?
No, definitely nothing in troops.
So it was elites. Anything change in elites?
Don't think so. I'm trying to off the top of my head here. And when we do the stream, I'll sit down and I'll plot them and I'll against each other, and the old points cost like we did for the last one.
Do you know what? Someone shared it on Facebook earlier. Let me jump over there and see if I can find the picture. Eliminators, Assault Marines, Outriders, Gladiators, says Stephen. Okay.
Yeah, Gladiators took another big drop. That means they're almost getting viable now.
I thought after the last update, honestly,
that's what I mean. The Lancer's really cheap now.
So the Lancer must be quite a bit cheaper than a laser destroyer. Steve says, evening y'all, great day to be a Blood Angel. It is a great day, Steve. We've been waiting for the 2-point drop, I think, for possibly the longest time, right?
Oh,
possibly
yeah,
2 seasons. Right. Let me see if I can pull up this picture. Space Marines. Okay, so the Captain and Gravis armor apparently went down 5 points.
Yep.
I did look at that Captain and Gravis armor and think to myself,
it's too slow and you can't deep strike him.
Yeah, he gets 1 more wound than a bite captain, but he loses 7 inches of movement and he's like 15 points more expensive. Yes, he gets Gravis fighting styles, but I don't think that makes up for...
I don't think he's very good, to be honest.
Okay, so all variants of the Gladiator went down 15 points. Let's have a look at those.
So Gladiator Lancer is now 150 points.
Yeah, which is...
insanely cheap.
Which is quite a bit cheaper than a laser destroyer now, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So could you run? There's not enough guns on the Lancer, says Highland Phoenix.
I think you probably could. It doesn't have core, but it doesn't really need it. Hitting on 2+ anyway with the big gun.
Yeah, and the big gun's at 72 inch range, does it not?
You can always CP reroll if you need to.
I think it could be. Reaper is the one with the...
Yeah, it's like the fake Bile Predator.
The fake Bile Predator for 180 points. Or the one with the Meltas, etc., 200 points. I think if I was going to run a Gladiator, I'd probably run the Lancer.
I would as well. I think the other two are still overcosted.
Down 15 points in those is decent. Also, all your Land Raider variants went down 20 points.
Unless you're a Custodes player and then they didn't because they're dicks.
Because I tried to run a couple of Land Raiders maybe 2 or 3 months ago. I think it must have just been before Armor of Contempt came out.
Yeah, it was.
Maybe like
you went hard into Centurions, didn't you?
Yeah, and I was thinking this. So if the Land Raider Crusader, let's say, is 245 points, and you put a squad of Centurions inside, I guess you're talking 400 points for the Crusaders and a 3-man squad of Centurions. Yeah. Or you could do a regular Land Raider. It doesn't need to be a Crusader.
I'd do Crusader, though, because then it doesn't get tied up in combat.
True. I just think that the Land Raiders... For me, anyway... The regular Land Raider has las cannons, which are too unreliable.
Yep.
And then, I mean, maybe you could run a Crusader now, but I just think it's a giant bullet magnet, and I'm not sure.
I don't think it's that competitive, but 20 points cheaper, it's less of a ridiculous thing to shove in. It's less harmful to your list to bring it, I think. Probably the way I'd look at that.
Okay, and I'm just going to quickly say that Levi has given a $2 super chat for Centurion Devastators went down a lot, I think it looks like. Weren't these guys almost 100 points per model at one point?
Yeah, they're still shit though. Why would you? All right, they're all right if you're playing Ultramarines or something like that. But for Blood Angels, they're absolutely useless.
The only way I could see Centurion Devastators work is, like you said, Ultramarines, because Gilliman's rules are from 8th edition, so his rerolls don't mention core. Everybody else's rerolls mention core, and Centurion Devastators don't have core. So
they're so expensive. They don't have core. They're not really that tough, and I just don't think they're very good. I remember when we tier listed them, we stuck them in the bin, and I think they stay there for now.
Yes, if you're enjoying both the streams tonight, please hit the like button. It does really help us out. I'm getting told repeatedly in chat that Eliminators, wherever they may be, are now getting their last fusils for free.
Yes, they are. It's only a little change, but they no longer pay anything for fusils.
Which I guess is great, because I thought they were much better with the fusils than the sniper rifles.
I still like the sniper rifles. Move.
But Space Marines are crying out for guaranteed damage on range, and this is a 3 damage weapon.
Yeah.
On a guy that's basically on a 1-up save with ignore AP1, so arguably on a 0-up save, right?
Yeah, they are very good, and I think that they've become more valuable with Armour of Contempt. The las fusils have become better. I'm more tempted with the las fusils than I was before, because I use them as a speed bump.
I know you use them as a speed bump.
So I just stick them out and fill the midfield with a couple of squads of those, let people charge them, and then when they've killed my eliminators, I can charge them back harder.
That's true. I like eliminators with las fusils anyway. I thought 85 points was fine, so a 10-point drop on the las fusil eliminators is cool. It's worth noting that Sam won a tournament with them not too long ago with the las fusil eliminators, I think.
Yeah.
So anyone that's using a couple of squads of them as their fire support, they're very cheap fire support, because you can't really kill them very easily, right?
Well, even if you can kill them, they're only 75 points. So who cares?
Yeah. Who's going to be the first Blood Angels player to win the next tournament, says Foz. I don't know, Foz, but I already signed up to a tournament.
Have you been murdered by your wife yet for that?
No, I actually signed up before I told her. And then
better to ask forgiveness than permission.
Yeah, pretty much. The guys in Discord were badgering me to sign up to another tournament and get up the Blood Angels rankings. So, what else have we got changes?
So I've got over here a sniper rifle mastercraft is wicked. I've never thought about mastercraft in a sniper rifle. Don't forget eliminators are a good platform for quake bolts. They are absolutely a great platform for quake bolts.
Yeah. The sergeant with the move, shoot, move is very good as well. And the fact his gun is an assault weapon as well. Meaning
that's why I always stuck with the rifles.
But you can have the
but the heavy weapons, and
you can mix the squad. All right, repulsors and repulsor executioners. Apparently the repulsor went down 25 points.
Did it?
But the
still
Iron
shit
Tail
though.
Heavy Stubber went up 5 points. I mean, the logic just...
There's no chance I'm going to run a repulsor of any variant. They're all terrible.
I don't give a shit about how many heavy Iron Tail Heavy Stubbers are.
Yeah.
Those Iron Tail Heavy Stubbers are so, like... It's like a strength 4 -1. No one gives a shit about that, right?
You know what? I'm looking at the repulsor executioner, right? Repulsor executioner is now 300 points. I would rather have 2 Gladiator Lancers than 1 repulsor executioner.
Yeah, I mean, when you put it that way, yeah. In terms of heavy firepower, the Lancer's probably going to do more.
And it's on 2 things. You can get 2 lines of sight, or you don't have to sacrifice them both. Still a toughness 8 platform.
Yeah, and the Executioner is only going to be a few more wounds, because I think the Lancer's... Is the Lancer 12 wounds? Or is it...
I think it's got more than that. I'm not totally sure, though. I'll have to check. But
someone in chat will know. I've never run a Gladiator. I'm sure it's 12 wounds.
I don't even own it. Do you own a Gladiator?
No.
I don't know.
It's one of the few tanks that I don't own. I was getting badgered to buy one of those Storm Speeders next. So that was probably going to be my next purchase.
I can't get over the silly little R2-D2 head that pops out of the Storm Speeder.
The Landspeeder Storm went down 5 points. I guess if people were running Landspeeder Storms with scouts, then I guess that's great.
You can't run them anymore empty, can you?
No.
So, yeah, I don't know how much we'll see them. Because I don't know about you, but I'm really starved for elite slots now.
Yeah, I mean, I was already starved for elite slots. Sanguinary Guard getting even better. I mean, they couldn't have got much better. If you asked me what I was dreaming about these last few weeks, I was like, just put my... Like, I didn't care about anything else. If they put Sanguinary Guard to 30 points and they change nothing else, I'm happy, you know? Because that's where I thought that they should land. Because they're so expensive to lose at 32 points per mono. Steel Rain will be happy.
Yeah, he loves his... he loves the Sanguinary Guard. I was hoping for a drop on Terminators, but we didn't get one. But
I thought that Terminators might get a point or two. That was one of the first units I actually looked at.
I was thinking the Storm Shield Terminators might get a little bit of a drop. They're still very expensive.
Yeah.
Now they don't benefit from Armour of Contempt either.
Very true.
I wondered if they'd get, but they didn't. Oh well.
Land Raiders are rumoured to go to Toughness 9. I believe the Chaos Codex has shown that the Chaos Land Raider is Toughness 9. I'm not sure if the Marine one is going to go to Toughness 9.
I've still got this theory that the Chaos one's going to come out of Toughness 9. The Thousand Suns, Death Guard, maybe Custodes and Grey Knights ones will get FAQ to Toughness 9. The Marines one won't. Then there'll be this big online outcry from why has the Marine one not got anything? You know, ignoring the fact that Cal Space Marines have had one wound for 2 years. And then we'll get Toughness 9 Land Raiders in Space Marine 2.0.
I guess we'll see. I mean, I don't know if they shared the points cost on the Chaos Land Raiders yet, so I guess we'll find out.
I think they have, and I think it's the same as it was.
It's the same as it was. It's 20 points more expensive. Okay, Chris has got a bounce. Thanks for hanging out, Chris. The Vindicator has gone down 10 points.
That's it? I didn't notice that.
Yes, so with a Siege Shield now, you're 130 points for a Vindicator.
Oh, 3 Vindicators, here I come.
I was going to say, the number of shots with the Vindicator is the huge problem, and the swinginess of the weapons. So I noticed again the Chaos Vindicator now is D3 plus 3 shots as opposed to D6. So if we see that on Vindicators coming in at 130 points, 2 up save, toughness 8, ignoring EP 1. I actually kind of like that.
I like them a lot. I've liked them all the way through 9th. Because earlier on, what I would use them for is the kind of speed bump you can't ignore. Because, it's really swingy, but if you're just thinking of it, I'm going to put this here and you've got to kill it, or it might one-shot your Demon Primarch.
True. It might one-shot, not very often.
It won't, but it's still only 135 points for a really tough to shift. And with Armour of Contempt, they're an absolute bugger to kill.
So, Bruin Biscuit's asking about the Fireside Servo turret. The last Talon part of it went down 10. The regular base turret went down 10 as well. I personally still don't think it's enough. This was actually voted the worst unit in the poll that we ran on my channel. It was the worst unit for the last season. Out of all the Space Marine units, we voted and everybody voted.
Yep. I voted for Reavers.
You voted for Reavers as the worst unit. I probably voted for Reavers as well. But for whatever reason, Firestrike Servo Turret won it. Down 10 points on the autocannon variant, down 10 points on the last Talon variant. Maybe it could have been 15 or 20. I feel like...
Yeah, I still think they're way too
20,
expensive.
I'm maybe thinking about it at 10. No, it's
if it was 80 points with the Las Talon and 50 points without it, then I'll be thinking about them.
The 3-inch movement makes the Las Talon really unattractive, because the Las Talon, Eradicators are hard enough and they move 5. Yeah. So how does this thing, when it only moves 3, work? I think
they're crap, to be honest.
Yeah, they're totally crap. It's just the movement. It's really just the movement.
Well, I think it's the movement, the save, the toughness, the not that good a gun, the high points cost. There's nothing good about them.
I mean, the autocannon variant might be okay. Like the RT5.
If it was
I
50
think
points,
you
it
have
would be.
5 wounds, 2 up save. It's like a more durable land speeder attack bike. Maybe it's okay to hold a backfield objective, but I don't see what else you could do with it. And I feel like quite often you're not going to be able to shoot it because
I think 80 points, that would let you have 3 of those las fusel eliminators. What would you rather have?
I mean the
Every time.
absolutely the last fusel eliminators.
I think they'll be harder to shift, they'd do more damage, they're quicker, and you can forward deploy them.
I would rather have 2 shots from the last fusel and have the sergeant with the move shoot move over the servo strike turret.
Yeah, absolutely.
The only thing that's killing eliminators is things that can ignore cover. And right now, Tau players aren't. I mean, it's typically stuff like Tau.
Yeah, but even that was on their missiles that were indirect fire and took a big nerf anyway.
Yeah, which took a giant nerf anyway. So
there's nothing really
scared.
Yeah.
Okay, what else? What else has changed? So Repulsor Executioner is still a no. The regular Repulsor is still a no.
Yeah.
The Land Raiders are getting borderline maybe.
Certainly
Some of
the Crusader.
Maybe Lancers getting borderline maybe. Centurion Devastators are probably still a no. Outriders went down 5 points. They're back to 45 points.
They should have gone down 10 points and then I'd think about them. But they're still... you still can't take them in units more than 3. You still can't give them any proper guns. Weapons. They're still in the bin for me.
I think Outriders probably work for White Scars.
Yeah. Or Deathwatch, because you can give them stuff.
For us right now at 45 points per model, I still don't like them. If you're into army, I know I mention Armor of Contempt a lot, but there's a lot of armies that you come up against that have Armor of Contempt. You know, 2 of my 3 games of this tournament were against Armor of Contempt armies. Outriders into Armor of Contempt armies are going to do very little.
Absolutely,
they're just chain swords, and they're just AP bolters, AP1 bolters. And people want to let me get onto the super heavy tanks. We're going to get to that in just a sec. Let me see if there's anything else we missed. A Razorback's gone down 10 points.
Yeah, but you're going to run them?
Is a Razorback a dedicated transport? So we have to have something that can go inside it. So I guess
I got over it.
I had a squad of something that could go inside it.
Maybe, but I don't, so no.
Couple las cannons for 110 points. Still doesn't seem that great, does it?
No. Over it.
Cannon was 25 points. What
yes,
a fucking
stupid.
rip-off.
At least now it's not cheaper than the Bile Predator.
That's true, I suppose.
So I've got a couple messages. What about Gladiator tanks that went down 15 points? Yeah, I like the Lancer at the moment. I think that's looking quite good. We're being reminded that you can give Lucifer pattern engines to the Fire Strike turret. Make it auto advance 6. Yes, you can.
I mean, great.
You shouldn't, but you can. Love to see 5 Centurions and Corbolo prop out of a Land Raider. Yeah, I love the idea of the Death Star Land Raider. It doesn't work though because Corbolo only affects core, because I've been talking about this combo and somebody pointed out that it only works on core, so that combo doesn't work. That made me very sad. How many would you want in a squad for Outriders, Tony? I think you want at least 4, because I always find I leave a couple of guys left in the unit and then it smacks me back and they're useless the second turn. Outriders are really good, and Raven Wing, yeah, they are pretty good.
So Predators went down. They're some of the last changes. So we're going to look at assault squads next because people keep telling me to look at assault squads. But Predators went down.
Yeah. Still too expensive.
15 points.
Still too expensive, though.
On the Annihilator.
Yeah.
And what did they destruct? The Destructor's the one with the twin las on top, right?
No, the Destructor's the one with the auto cannon. The Annihilator's the one with the twin las. I know it sounds weird, but it's been cheaper than the auto cannon one for the whole of 9th.
So why is the one with the auto cannon?
Well, because it's a flat damage 3 auto cannon.
Yeah, is it just -1? Or is it -2?
It's -2. It's not bad, I like it. It's good for killing, it maths out really well for killing raiders.
Oh yeah, we did work out it was one of the most effective weapons at killing raiders, but we don't really...
We're not seeing raider spam at the moment, are we?
It's funny how many changes they've made to this. So, no, the Destructor for 130 points has the autocannon. It's 2d3, strength 7, -1, 3 damage. 130 points for average 4 strength 7 shots with 1 AP and 3 damage is not good.
Oh, and the other thing that really kills it, the cost of the sponsons. How much does sponsons cost to put on the side?
Yeah, 20 points for the last cannon is overcosted based on the fact the last cannon does springy 6 damage.
Now, maybe you've got to buy them in pairs as well. So, are you going to pay 40 odd points to stick a couple of extra masks? No, of course you're not.
115 points for the Annihilator now. It's 1 twin las cannon.
I'll take the Lancer at 150 over it.
Yeah, I mean, if you just had 115 points to fit an Annihilator in, I guess that's not horrible now. I mean, well, look, if you compare it to the Fire Strike Servo turret, which we know with the twin, what was it called? The twin las fusel?
The las talon or whatever, isn't it?
The las talon, yeah. So an Annihilator then at 115 points obviously gets movement 12, toughness 7, 11 wounds, and it's got a twin las cannon. The Fire Strike has like 5 wounds, but
yeah. Hang on, apparently I've
3, 5 wounds, toughness 5, and it gets a couple extra shots, but you're never going to be in range to shoot them. So 5 point. Like if you're going to take the twin las fusel fire strike turret to hold your backfield, you should actually just take in a Predator Annihilator.
Right.
Because at least the Predator could actually move around. Yeah.
Absolutely, mate. John, I'm going to have to go for a minute. Apparently my camera is deciding to die.
Oh, sure, no problem.
So I'm going to leave you to it.
Cool.
Looks like it's running out of battery, which is weird because it's plugged in.
Okay.
God knows what's going on there.
Good luck with cameras.
I don't seem to be. Yeah, I don't know why it's running on batteries. So thanks for watching, people who have been watching. It's about time for me to go to bed anyway. Enjoyed chatting with John.
Okay. All right, Tony. Nice to see you. Thanks so much for your input. I'll speak to you soon, I'm sure.
Cheers, guys. See you on the next one. Bye-bye, everybody. Thanks for watching.